Imagine constructing an artificial river in the heart of a desert. It may seem unrealistic, but if and when the necessity emerges, such a notion could indeed appear to be a sensible strategy. In the southwest of Cairo, Egypt is currently undertaking an unprecedented project to build a river unlike any other in the world. The country is currently in the process of constructing the world's largest artificial river, an ambitious project that aims to transform 9,000 square kilometers of desert into a new Nile Delta. But how exactly does a country build a river that competes with the legendary Nile, and why does Egypt need another Nile in the first place? But before that, we'd like to welcome you to iBuild Mega, where we cover new and exciting mega construction projects from around the world. If you love engineering and architectural marvels as much as we do, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Now, let's dive into it. The colossal project is driven by the urgent need to provide sustenance for Egypt's rapidly growing population. From 1920 to 2020, Egypt's population surged nearly eightfold, reaching over 113 million people by 2023, making it the most populous country in the Arab world. This number continues to rise, making it almost impossible for the Nile to cater to the agricultural needs of the country alone. The challenge also lies in the fact that 96% of Egypt's land area is desert, leaving a mere 4% as arable land along the Nile and its delta. This narrow, fertile strip faces immense pressure due to urbanization and other developments. Approximately 40,000 square kilometers of this arable land are dedicated to agriculture, but this area is diminishing as urban expansion encroaches upon it. This means that Egypt has to regularly import most of its food supply, including a staggering 96.7% of its wheat consumption. These imports come at a significant cost of around $15 billion annually and can face fluctuations during unfavorable political and economic conditions. When war broke out in 2022 between Russia and Ukraine, Egypt's supply was cut off and wheat prices surged as high as 38%. To address this vulnerability and feed the needs of its growing population, Egypt has initiated efforts to reclaim desert land for agricultural use. Between 2015 and 2020, around 5,000 square kilometers of desert were successfully irrigated into new agricultural land. However, achieving its goal of 65% crop self-sufficiency by 2025 requires a lot of expansion. In response, Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi announced the ambitious New Delta project in March 2021. This project aims to create the world's largest artificial river, irrigating over 9,000 square kilometers of new land. The project will divert agricultural wastewater from the Rosetta branch of the Nile River, usually flowing into the Mediterranean, into a new artificial river. The project is being carried out through multiple phases, with the first scheduled for completion by 2025. The initial phase will transform nearly 6,000 square kilometers of desert into a massive gigafarm, spanning hundreds of kilometers and incorporating new roads, residential areas, power stations, the world's largest wastewater treatment plant, and an artificial river of record-breaking length. This river travels along the Mediterranean coast for 50 kilometers before turning inland near the edge of the Nile Delta. Underground pipes with a diameter of 3 meters transport the water beneath existing farmland, eventually resurfacing 22 kilometers away in the desert. This water is then transported through a 42-kilometer artificial river to the Al Hammam water treatment plant, capable of treating 7.5 million cubic meters of water a day. Another 42 kilometers of pipes and artificial river carry additional water from the upstream Nile to the desert. This remarkable feat of engineering uses 148 kilometers of open concrete canals, has been supplemented with 15 lift stations that have been integrated to accommodate varying elevations, while 39 bridges cater to both vehicles and pedestrians traversing over the primary river and its tributaries. The system also integrates open diversions and artificial ground-level reservoirs. This new water supply, combined with desalinated groundwater, is expected to irrigate 4,400 square kilometers of new agricultural land in the project's first phase, eventually expanding to over 9,200 square kilometers. This vast area will significantly increase Egypt's agricultural land by 23%, while covering 42% of the Nile River Delta's size. The new delta will primarily focus on cultivating domestic crops such as wheat, corn, and sugar, but will also facilitate the growth of export-oriented vegetables, fruits, and herbal plants. Its strategic location near existing roads and ports enhances its potential as a hub for agricultural production and export. The second phase, expected to conclude by 2030, will double the size of the reclaimed area to a staggering 12,000 square kilometers. Contrary to common perception, the new Delta project does not intend to utilize Nile River water for irrigation. Instead, it takes a forward-looking approach by focusing on recycling residential, commercial, and agricultural wastewater. This is made possible through a cutting-edge facility known as the Al-Ham Water Treatment Plant, which is currently under construction. Additional water requirements will be met by two other wastewater treatment plants situated near Giza in 6th of October City, while seawater desalination plants will not be incorporated into the project due to the associated high costs. Complicating matters, Ethiopia's construction of the Renaissance Dam near its border with Sudan has caused the Nile River's flow to be restricted, impacting both Sudan and Egypt. While Ethiopia's primary objective was to generate electricity, the dam's adverse effects on water availability have exacerbated Egypt's water insecurity. Despite over 10 years of negotiations and international mediators' involvement, a solid resolution remains elusive. The dam nears completion, with construction reaching 90% in March 2023. Starting from July 2020, Ethiopia initiated the first round of filling its reservoir, and by 2023, it's completed its fourth filling. This has further diminished downstream water flow into Egypt, emphasizing the need to optimize the available water supply and initiate projects like the New Delta. It's important to note that the artificial river is higher than the Nile River. As a result, it cannot naturally contribute to the Nile's flow. In instances where the Nile's water levels experience an increase of several meters, large emergency gates would open to absorb the excess water and ensure stability. The connection to the Nile River is primarily reserved for unforeseen emergencies, acting as a precautionary measure in the event of complications arising from the Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. The New Delta project plays a crucial role in ensuring the stability of income for local families. It is projected to provide a secure source of income for around 5 million families. Moreover, the project will create employment opportunities for over 20,000 new graduates, who will contribute to maintaining various project-related facilities, including power stations, water infrastructure, wastewater treatment plants, and other engineering and administrative roles. The project's strategic positioning will play a pivotal role in catering to both domestic and international markets. On the fringes of the expansive farmland, industrial complexes are set to emerge, specialized in diverse sectors such as dairy production, meat processing, food manufacturing, and the preparation of produce for export. All of these factors will result in a socio-economic boom for the country. The collective impact of these efforts is anticipated to propel Egypt back to its historical status as a significant net exporter of food commodities and products. Notably, multinational corporations from various regions, including China and Saudi Arabia, are already capitalizing on the potential benefits of the project, both in terms of future profits and expansion opportunities. Remarkably, Egypt has also uncovered an extensive underground reservoir beneath the Western Desert, which is more than 2,000 meters deep. This underground aquifer feeds shallower reservoirs ranging from 100 to 400 meters deep, with varying thicknesses spanning from 120 to 900 meters. Leveraging this discovery, over 100 wells are set to provide up to 2.5 million cubic meters of fresh underground water daily for the project's operations. Leveraging its production capacity, the country aims to curtail imports, conserve hard currency, and effectively work towards sustainable development goals. This multi-pronged strategy will not only enhance local livelihoods, but also contribute to the nation's economic resilience. Collectively, these initiatives, including other concurrent developments in both industry and urban planning, such as the construction of a new administrative capital city 40 kilometers east of Cairo, exemplify efforts by President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi to drive growth and development across Egypt. While a venture of this scale could cost approximately $50 billion in regions like America or Europe, Egypt has adeptly devised efficient and sustainable methods to bring this vision to fruition at a fraction of that expense. Factors such as lower labour and material costs in Egypt contribute to the project's affordability, elucidating the rationale behind its budget of $5.2 billion. The new Delta project in Egypt represents a truly groundbreaking advancement that is poised to yield numerous advantages for both the country's populace and its economy. On a broader scale, this project sets a precedent for other nations grappling with water scarcity challenges. Thanks for tuning in. Let us know your thoughts on Egypt's new Delta down in the comments below. Until next time.